Hello and welcome to another episode of the Straight Jacket Podcast. My name is 𝐃𝐸, and today I am here with a triple threat of woman. She is an author, she is a speaker, she has amassed hundreds of thousands of followers who follow along to see her recovery journey. And she's also the owner of multiple treatment centers here in Orange County, correct?
That's right.
This is SoCal Katt, or Catherine, correct?
Or Katt.
Or
Katt is fine.
Katt,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How are you today?
So good. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you come and share your story with me.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where'd you grow up, your upbringing, what are those?
Sure.
Yeah.
Boring stuff.
The boring. No. Is it boring?
No. I
Okay.
mean, I wish I had a more exciting childhood because it would make my addiction make way more sense.
But the thing is like the relatability is still there
100%.
Because there's so many people, you'd be surprised, 50-50.
Yeah.
Some people are like, no, I had a stellar childhood.
Yeah.
My parents were amazing.
Yeah.
There was just something genetically or whatever, spiritually within me that this was a lesson that I had to learn in this life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's kind of my story. I grew up in a really good home. Denver, Colorado. Both of my parents worked. They loved me. I have an older brother. I had no abuse. They honestly gave me anything and everything I needed for nothing.
Just like poster board childhood.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's like on the outside, but on the inside, like the feelings as a little girl, and I cannot really even explain it outside of alcoholism, is that I was just really sad. I was like a sad, lonely. I never felt like I fit in. Even when my family, would have like gatherings, I would feel really alone. I just felt like an alien. I related a lot to animals, a lot. I spent a lot of time outside, with animals, and just like I didn't wear shoes till I was like 7.
I love that for you.
Yeah,
she's grounding early.
That's right.
Before it became a trend.
Yes, I was a wild child. And I just remember, my fondest memories, like just things that I can recollect. It wasn't like happy birthdays and that kind of stuff. It really, there's just a deep sense of sadness and loneliness. And, my mom and dad would have parties, and like I would sneak alcohol every once in a while, but nothing like significant until I was 13, and I was invited to have like a sleepover at my best friend's house. Her parents were out of town. Her brother was having a cake party, and he agreed that like we could come as long as we like stayed in her room and, didn't make fools out of ourselves. And I just remember he was bringing up those red Solo cups full of beer. And the minute I started to feel the effect of the alcohol, I wanted more. And it was like somebody had put, my black and white world into color. Like I can't explain it. Yeah, it was truly felt like I could finally exhale. And I felt amazing and confident. And, that night was just full of excitement and fun. And I actually kissed her older brother, which was like he was like my crush, my dream, right? I would stay the night at her house to just like get peeks of him. Obviously I liked her too, but we all have that older brother of older sisters, like of our best friends that we had crushes on. And so, couple that with having the best night of my life and feeling like finally okay in my own skin. The next morning, we had a few other girls with us, and they were mortified. They were, I can't believe I did that. I'm so sick. I'll never drink again. And they probably didn't, but for me,
seems like that would be like the normal reaction.
Right. And, for me, I was like, what are we doing here? Is there still more alcohol in the house? Right. Like this is my new norm. I don't know about y'all, but this is how I'm going to live from here on out.
Yeah.
And really just rode that feeling and chased that feeling. I mean, well into my 30s. Right. Yeah. And so, I learned pretty young how to use substances as a coping mechanism. Right. And, I get older and it just gets progressively worse. And, then it's experimenting with drugs. And and, adding
Tequila is a
things.
gateway to cocaine.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I mean, and honestly, anything. And I was really, when our literature talks about living a double life, like I had learned that skill really young, because one, I could, like, drinking was not tolerated in my house. My parents were extremely strict.
Okay.
So I had to, like, live this kind of double life. Two, I was like a really, really into athletics and also academics.
Right.
So like I was varsity captain of our cheerleading squad, and we were like national competitors. I was in Future Business Leaders of America in something called DECA. I was very, very active in all of these other areas.
You were an all-star.
Well,
yeah.
I learned quickly that if I could fool you on the outside, that like maybe I can feel okay about me on the inside. And it just wasn't working. I was still like a party girl and would just get blackout drunk some weekends. My mom, was just beside herself. My parents had no idea what to do with me. They also really, they did the best they could, but as parents, they just had no idea how to handle somebody like me. Yeah. And they both came from military homes.
Okay.
They weren't in the military, but both my grandparents were like heavily decorated and military.
Right.
And so my mom's dad especially was this huge German man. So Germans traditionally don't really talk about feelings. And then
no, we're very stoic.
Yeah. Are you German?
I am German.
Okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So incredibly stoic. And then you add the military aspect on top of that. I mean, he was highly respected, but there was this like inability to actually talk about what was really going on.
Yeah.
And so my mom, had that modeled for her. My dad had a very similar environment. I come out of my mom's womb like a freaking raw nerve, and like I feel everything. I want to talk about everything. And my parents are like, what do we do?
Right.
And so they did what most parents know to do, and they, sent me to therapy, and that wasn't really effective.
Did that ingrain there's something wrong with me?
I've never thought about that. I think it just I did feel heard, but I also remember the therapist kind of looking at my mom saying like, you need to like spend more time with her. And my parents didn't mean to do this, but I did feel alone a lot of the time. And that, even though my mom and dad were working both full time and I was
what they had to do to survive.
Totally. And they provided me the best school systems. I have, there is no perfect childhood.
No.
Right. And so I am not a product of my childhood. Like, I want to be very clear about that. Like, I just remember feeling from the youngest age this irritable restlessness and discontentment.
Yeah.
Which I know today comes from alcoholism, which is actually runs on both sides of my family as well.
Yeah.
So not surprised at all when, I was 18. I was working at a restaurant, and this guy who I had the hugest crush on was like not interested in me at all. And I would be, telling him about all of my amazing, extracurricular activities. Like, aren't you impressed by how many upperclassmen I'm hooking up with?
Should be.
Right. Yeah. Do you not know how many cake parties I got invited to? And he's so disgusted. And he's like, I'm not interested in any of that. Like, you're not a Christian. I don't really want anything to do with you. And nobody had ever talked to me like that. And so I really had like later that night, I like pulled him aside and we were rolling silverware in the back. And I was just like, what does that mean?
Right.
And he was like, listen, like the things that you're trying to do to feel okay about yourself are all things that God already has for you. And you don't actually need to do anything to deserve, any of it. Like,
Amen.
You just need to stop going to these things and accept, Jesus into your heart and ask him to change the way that you are living. And I went home and I, went on my knees and I prayed, and I did have a pretty radical transformation.
Yeah.
So I started to attend church with him. I didn't know he was like a preacher's son. And then we start dating. And on my 19th birthday, he asked me to marry him. My parents are like, this is crazy, because we just saw a huge shift, which they liked.
Right.
The new girl that came with this, but they were also a little taken back that we wanted to get married so young.
Right.
And they were like, this is moving kind of fast. And he said, look, I'll take full responsibility. I'll make sure she finishes college, and so we got married when I was 20. I didn't drink through most of my college. I was really, really like dedicated to our marriage. Like, he was a dream. He was literally amazing. And we had a really cool marriage. We took kids backpacking in the mountains and did like
trips.
Yeah. And just
how
like,
rad.
super cool. Like, I in high school, I was very, very committed to gymnastics and cheerleading. And so until my senior year of college or of high school, and then I really fell in love with Colorado in college, because I was finally able to play other sports. I had to sign a contract that I would play no other sports for a lot of years.
Okay.
So I was not allowed to ski. I wasn't allowed to, rock climb. It was cheer and gymnastics all the time.
Okay. What's the reason for that?
If you get
injure
hurt,
yourself?
yeah,
Okay,
and like,
that's what I thought.
it's not, we didn't have like subs. There's not,
Right.
It was, you have a routine and you have one person out. I mean, we'd do stunts.
Plus, I'm sure the distracted folk, like the split focus, probably would have affected your performance.
Yeah. Well, and we also, we would practice 2 times a day. So like, we are not allowed to vacation.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot. It was a lot. So when I graduated, it was like this cool, like new, like self-discovery of like, oh my gosh, what do I like?
The world
right?
opened up
Yeah,
to you.
totally.
Yeah.
And, he and I had a really cool marriage. Obviously challenges that every like new marriage has,
Right.
but nothing. I mean, I couldn't have foreseen what would happen when I graduated, which was back up. I stopped drinking mostly. I had like a few incidents where I got really drunk with some classmates, and he's like, hey, like, we don't do that.
No.
Like, that's not really, I expect more from you. And I was like, you're right. And I just like kind of zipped it up. And so I remember like his family would come over and they would bring like 1 bottle of wine for all 4 of us. And I would
One
just,
glass
like,
each.
I know. I was
my alcoholic
like,
mind knows.
right,
I know exactly how many glasses.
Yeah.
In a bottle.
I was like, what's everyone else going to drink?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And then I'm, getting to the point where it would happen and I just wouldn't even partake, because when I had that 1 glass, I couldn't like be mentally present for the rest of the evening, because I would be thinking, okay, can I like sneak out? Can I and get another bottle? Would it be weird?
The obsession.
Yes. What if I take everybody's dishes to the sink and like pour all of their glasses into my glass?
Because they're normal, so they left some.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I just got to the point where I was like, this is so frustrating. I'm not going to drink at all.
Right.
And that was never a clue to me. I always thought that like, in order to be an alcoholic, you had to drink every day and all this
Live
stuff.
on the street.
Right.
Brown paper bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I did what most good alcoholics do, is I just put all of my crazy, nervous, neurotic energy into something else, which was schoolwork and running. So I started running like stupid amounts, like maybe 10 miles a day, then 12, then 15. I mean, it was...
She was running daily marathons, half marathons.
I had a Jack Russell who was like my dream dog. And Jack Russells are known to be insane.
Yeah.
She would hide when I got her leash out. Like literally under the bed, like, come on, Mom. And so I went and I got another dog. And he would do the same thing. And I was crazy. Like, I had no idea. And, a lot of addicts and alcoholics that aren't really working a spiritual program, I've heard, resonate with the running, right? Either running to or running from. Mm-hmm. Just so...
And you're really just running in place.
Totally. Mm-hmm. So I graduated from college. I got a really great job, and I don't know, maybe week like one or month one, we did like sales training, and we went to a conference, and there's open bar, and I was like, I mean, why not? It's been like 4 years or 3 years. You know, everyone else I was with was doing it. We were taking shots. I was the life of the party. I woke up the next morning. I was like, that was amazing. You know, my husband didn't really need to know the extent of. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't hide it, but I didn't like divulge.
Omission.
Yeah, right. And then, you know, it kind of just took off from there. I started drinking a little when he wasn't home, or I would have like just subtly like throw in some wine at dinner for us. Yeah. And, you know, he would be like, what is this? And I mean, he didn't drink. So it just kind of got.
For me, husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you know, I would like ask to travel. I would ask to do these conferences and like really like sought out because of that aspect. Right. Yeah. And, you know, it was all fine and well for about 6 months. And then one night we were all drinking at the hotel bar, and that's really the last thing I remember. And the next morning I woke up in someone's bed. And I was like, this is a problem.
Absolutely.
Because I'm hurting somebody I deeply love. Like this, and I didn't want to jeopardize my marriage. And I mean, just really had no idea what I was up against. And so I went home and I told him, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like somebody must have slipped something in my drink. And he's like looking at me like, what do you mean? You shouldn't be drinking. Like, this is because of alcohol. Like, you have to stop drinking. Yeah. And he was absolutely crushed. We went to counseling. You know, they all agreed that I needed to stop drinking. And I was just like, sure, of course. Yeah. But like, even in my own crazy mind, I really truly believed that was like
not the problem.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, that's not that. I mean, because I'd done it like 5 or 6 times and not had that. Plus I was like, no, I love my husband. Like, why would I ever cheat? Like, somebody must have. And so I like
the rationale that's trying to explain it to you because you can't fully grasp.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're so delusional. So, you know, it happened again and it happened again, and it was just awful. And so we agreed that we would move and I would quit my job and we would start over somewhere else. Like, that's how much this.
Always a geographical.
Right.
Yeah.
And he really wanted to try, and I did too. And so we moved me to the mountains, and I took over this insurance agency. And within, I don't know, a few weeks, I'm doing cocaine with my clients. Yeah. And it's just like, then, you know, I'm seeing like this, that I am the problem. I convince myself that I just need to go sow my wild oats and beg him for a divorce. And finally he gives it to me. And so when I was 25, it was like I just became unhinged. You know, one, I was really very upset with God, because I was like, I don't understand. Like, I thought when you have a relationship with God that you don't struggle with this stuff. I really thought that when I gave my life over to God that he would handle this. I've seen people get radically healed. Like, did you forget about me, God?
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea that it also requires a path of obedience.
Faith without works.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Totally. And so for the next like 7 years, I run, you know, and I lower my standards faster than I can violate them, and more geographics, more broken relationships. And then I really find myself at a place where I tell myself that I don't want to live anymore. You know, it's just like, what am I doing? I'd wake up and I'd moved to California. That was like my last like, okay, I'm done. I want to go be with my brother and his kids. They lived up the street from me, and I want to just spend time. I'm going to be auntie. I'm going to focus on family and faith and fitness. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to, you know, turn over a new leaf.
Right.
And I get my like little the little thing delivered that you like I forget what they're called, like where you have all your stuff in. They're dropping off all the things when I get to California. Yes, the pod. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm literally unpacking the boxes. I made it one night, and that day I'm unpacking the boxes, and these guys walk up from the beach, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you new?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Come over, we're having a barbecue," and I'm hanging out with them. First thing I do is grab a beer because I have no idea how to act socially, right? And then that night we all go to the bars. We walk up to the bars and, doing all the things in town. And I find the local drug dealer and I'm back at it.
Sniffed him out.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I relate, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we find each other. I have Bluetooth.
We
yes.
Doc.
Literally. It's wild.
It's
even
so wild.
Sober.
Attraction is real, dude.
Totally.
That's why I believe in it, because we're magnets for each other.
Oh my gosh. It's
every time.
Wild. It's wild. So yeah, I did another 6 to 8 months not living up to what I said I would.
Right.
And this time though, my brother has a front row seat and his kids, and he's like, "Hey sis, you actually can't be around the kids anymore. We're not doing it. I'm embarrassed."
It was messy.
Yeah. And I thought he was overreacting, Yeah. But the crazy thing is that I knew, and I was a little relieved when he pulled the covers a little bit, because I was just exhausted.
Hiding.
The hiding, the waking up every day saying today's going to be different. And then by 10 a.m. or noon, you're, reaching either for the pills, the powder, or the vodka in the freezer. And then it's like, well, I already fucked up, so I might as well
continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, tomorrow I'm going to do it. And then you get to a point where you're like, you know what? What is the point? Because I've continued to break promises to myself. There were times where I truly could pass a lie detector test. I believed I would be sober.
You have to, because that's how the disease stays alive.
Totally.
It convinces you.
Right. Yeah. So, I still had those 2 dogs that I had in college. Yeah. They were my loves. My Jack Russell especially. She was the love of my life. And, I really, they were the only relationships I had. And I would just look at them, and then I would hear the San Clemente train going through, and I would just fantasize about throwing myself in front of it. And I was just like, dude, if you guys weren't here, I'd just go handle it, And then
you didn't see another way out.
No. I thought, I'd pretty much achieved all of the things. I'm a fairly high performing individual.
Yeah.
I thought that this could be fixed with willpower.
Yeah.
And I really was like, if I'm getting my ass whooped this bad, what then I clearly there is, and I tried the God thing, right? That's what I thought. And I just I got to a place where I wanted to kill myself, but I didn't have the balls to do it. I couldn't leave my animals. I loved them so much. And so there was this woman I always worked out to, and I think that's 2 misconceptions, that I kind of want to just dispel. Is that you don't know God in addiction, because I 1,000% did.
That's where you meet him the
right.
most.
Yeah.
He's most present.
Totally.
You're begging
him.
You're begging him to help, but you don't realize there's a process and a protocol.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And also that you don't work out. I would go to the gym, once, twice a day to sweat it out. I wasn't seeing the results because my body was absolutely in survival mode all the time. I hardly ate.
Yeah.
But a lot of people they look at my fitness journey and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you just got in the gym." I'm like, "No, bro. I've been in the gym."
Muscle memory.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been in the gym since I was 15.
Right.
It's just now I'm feeding my body properly. So, there was a woman that would go to my group fitness workouts, and she was just such a light, had 4 kids, was adopting 2 more from Africa, loved everyone. She'd walk in the room and it just brightened, right? And
I love those people.
me too.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you know, if ever you want to talk about sobriety, I have like 15 years, or it might have been 20 years at that time.
How amazing.
And I was like,
insulting.
yeah, totally. I'm like, what are you, I'm like looking behind me, like, why are you talking to me?
Right.
I just did 3 lines in the parking lot. I'm flying high. Like,
Right.
I feel amazing. Like, did you just see my box hops? You know, like, I'm like, what? Why are you, go away?
It's pre-workout.
Yeah, right.
Light
right. right. And, you know, she had mentioned it a few times. She had invited me to church. I actually did go to church with her a few times. But, you know, still kind of struggle with that.
I think we forget that we know our own.
Yeah.
We can recognize
totally
in the wild.
Real recognize.
Exactly.
Real.
You're like, you,
right.
me.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And so she had, you know, mentioned her sobriety journey to me. I don't know. It was months prior. I was not interested, but I did know. My brother said, hey, something's got to change. I really fantasized about suicide, but when I got really honest, I couldn't do that. I didn't have the balls to do that to my family. Same. Yeah. And so I reached out to her on Facebook Messenger and I said, hey, can we meet? Like, I didn't know what else to do. Yeah. And so she actually met me that afternoon, and I just told her how broken I was. I didn't even really mention like the usage, just the feelings of like so lonely. I felt like a shell of a human, that every day I would wake up and I would make a commitment that today was going to be different. And then I just continued to break promises to myself. Yeah. And that, you know, I just felt like I had no purpose, and that I was going to die alone, and that I didn't want to live anymore. And she was like so understanding and just said, I have good news and bad news. I said, okay, great. Lay it on me. She's like, the good news is that that's exactly how I felt. She's like, I know where you are and there's a solution. Right. And this is where I'm thinking she's going to tell me like, oh, it's this really expensive surgery, or it's this shot. It's
shaman.
This right.
Yeah.
It's this doctor in Turkey. Right. Like, I'm just like, okay, well, what's the weirdness, you know? And she's like, you got to go to Alcoholics Anonymous. And I was like, I didn't even mean to, but I said, fuck you immediately. Immediately. I was like, and then she like her eyes got big, and I was like, I'm sorry, but no. I was like, I'll go to an insane asylum. Like, put me in an
Isn't that insane though?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am in an insane asylum. Like, I was in my own prison.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she like slowly, she was very sweet, but she was like, okay, all right, like could see that I was unwilling. Yeah. And she's like, okay, like keep doing what you're doing, and you know, you're going to keep getting what you're getting.
Come back when you're ready.
Right. And she started to get up, and I was like, okay, I will go. But I'm just going to do it for a month. Yeah. She's like, okay. And I was like, how do you even do it? You know,
where is it at?
I know. I was like, where are these losers?
When you join the ranks.
Right. And she's like, I mean, let's look. Oh yeah, there's an Alano Club. It was literally like a mile and a half.
It starts
right.
Yeah.
She's like, and 6:30 a.m. there's a meeting every day, and your butt needs to be in that seat. And I was like, no. I was like, that's when I do my workout. And she's like, oh, that's when you used to do your workout. Right. She's like, you now are putting your sobriety above everything. Yeah. And she's like, you put your sobriety in front of your workouts, in front of your work, in front of your relationships, and in front of everything else, and all those other things will fall into place. Right. She said, you put any of that stuff in front of your sobriety, you're going to lose it all. So she's like, you might as well do it first thing in the morning and, you know, just show that you're serious. And I was like, okay. And, you know, I went into that first meeting an absolute wreck, totally judgmental, like thinking that. Yeah. Right.
Because you people.
Right. I mean, I think it's pretty normal, that stigma of, you know, 12-step programs to be, because they're free, you know, everybody's sitting around in a circle, making sure people don't drink, right? Like just thinking like these people are uneducated or
something wrong with
Yeah, totally. I had no idea that walking into that room would change the trajectory of my entire life. You know, they say that the magic you're looking for is behind the work you're avoiding.
Absolutely.
I was like mortified, but also relieved when I started to relate.
Two things can be true at once.
Yes, right. I was like, how is this real that
when they were reading the readings?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, I feel very called out right now. Damn it. Damn it. Feeling like also the other aspect of it is that everyone was so damn happy.
Right.
And
it's
just
sickening.
Yeah. Happy and sober. Those things don't go in my life at that time. And they were excited I was there. And I hadn't felt that in a very long time.
Nobody's happy to see you when
Right.
you're an
No.
alcoholic.
No,
Yeah.
you're not really welcome. I mean, I had...
You're 86, actually.
Yeah. I was about to 86 myself.
Right.
Oh, like,
Definitely.
that was my
Yeah.
own... So when I came back the next morning and they remembered my name and they were like, oh my gosh, how are you? Day 2. And I was like, what? Who are these aliens?
Weirdos.
Like they like me.
But I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
So weird. And then, you know, I remember getting that first week sober and I was like, oh my gosh, I did it.
That was your first week ever?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And like feeling really not like white knuckling, not like, oh my gosh, is it like I had been able to stay sober for like fitness kind of, not really, but sometimes like my brother's wedding, but I was like still on like Adderall and some other stuff. But it was like first week and just being like waking up on a Saturday morning sober and being like, oh my gosh,
I did it.
I did it. This is
Yay.
possible.
Yeah.
And I'm not miserable. And like I went to that 6:30 a.m. meeting on Saturday and like everyone was so excited and like, but they were also like, okay, now let's get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and just this beauty of doing things together. I really do believe the quote that, you know, addiction
It's the opposite
is
of connection.
yes. Like when you're connected to something bigger than yourself and you have people that
community.
Yeah. It's everything. Talking to, you know, people all around the world on my social media who are struggling. And I just say, like, do you have just one person sober? Or maybe just one person that you can confide in that will walk alongside you.
Right.
And many of them are like, you're the only person I know sober. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are so many people that are sober. And if you put yourself in the right position,
totally
go find some sober people.
It's crazy. Like, I'll be on a plane, you know, and somebody will say something and I'll hear their verbiage.
You'll run into the only sober person.
Right. And
Yeah.
you're like, are you a friend of Bill? And they're like, yes. And then you start talking. There's like someone up 3 rows up.
Right.
Like, me too.
Yeah.
You know, we do recover. And it's like, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm so passionate too about breaking my anonymity.
Yeah.
Because you start to have these vulnerable conversations. Not only do people start to come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, my dad struggled with alcoholism for years. Can I give him your number? Or even themselves. Or they're like, hey, I've been sober for 5 years. It's like, we all have something.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody is like, this is the human condition, right?
Yeah.
God didn't make us perfect. Like, if he made us perfect, none of us would need him.
Right.
But having this thing called alcoholism allows me to every day be thankful for one more sober day, right? And then also, like, I don't mind breaking my anonymity because I want to be that light that other people can think of.
You're the proof.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's such an honor to be the proof.
Totally. And it's like, okay, God, like, this is all I had to do is say yes.
It comes with a high responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is like it does come with a high responsibility, but anonymity is a choice.
Right.
And where it used to protect us because people didn't understand alcoholism, I think it harms us sometimes now.
Totally.
So with anybody sharing their story, I'm like, the anonymity is their choice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I do understand it to some degree for some certain reasons.
Yeah.
But I think being able to recover out loud gives us so much more freedom to connect, to unify, and to show people like this is the opposite of soft white underbelly, right?
Yeah.
Where they're showing people in the trenches and like, this is what happens. This is what can happen for all of those people.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of people that I can talk to on a regular basis who slide in my DMs and say, I have no one and you're a complete stranger. And this is the first time I've ever said this out loud. It's like,
it's powerful.
It's an honor. It's an honor. And all because I said yes, all because of obedience, all because I was like, okay, I maybe have this thing. And then, had this incredible opportunity. Like, this is my calling. I truly believe that. I don't wake up one single day wondering what my purpose is. I know what it is. And I think that it will continue to, there will be layers of it. I think I'm really just getting started and into stepping into my purpose. But the fact that we're able, like, our duty is to bring other people, I think, to bring the gold out of other people.
Absolutely.
And if they don't see the gold in you, they're certainly not going to listen. Right. So it's been an honor. I truly had no idea the impact I could make, and it's all God. But the other aspect of this is I was able to, it was last November. So I got sober November 1st, 2015.
Okay.
And I was not really open to working a program. So I'm going to just be really honest about that.
Yeah.
I came in the rooms reluctantly, and thank God not by DUI or like drug court, but, just didn't really believe that I belonged there.
Yeah.
And so when I saw the steps on the wall and I saw like God everywhere, I was like, dude, I already tried all that. It was like, first of all, I'm dismissing it. Second, if I do this, like, I'm obviously going to do this faster and better than everyone else, and I'm going to do I'm going to do it by myself, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, the people in here like probably need sponsors, like, because they're really sick, but that's not really me. And so I was
Grace carried you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time.
Grace
For about 90 days.
Yeah.
I really was and I would continue to go see. I call her my Eskimo, the woman who got me into the program, because she was really more focused on her family and church, and she worked full time.
Yeah.
So she suggested, like, hey, go find somebody that's really active in meetings. I can't take you through the book. I would love to, but I'd be kind of a hypocrite because I don't go to meetings anymore. And I was like, okay, and she would just check in on me, and she'd be like, hey, have you gotten like a sponsor? And I was like, no, but like I feel so good.
Right.
Kind of, thinking like I graduated out of it, right?
Yeah.
And remember, I only wanted to do 30 days, but I started to feel so good and my life starts to get better that I was like, I'm gonna kick it here for a little
You're
bit.
addicted to results.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Throughout, there's been a system or a pattern here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I think I was like 60 days sober. Maybe I was 90. But, I'm still going to that morning meeting, and I've added some night meetings. I'm just riding high on the fellowship, right? Hoping that like your recovery through the work you're doing is going to rub off on me. But I literally, didn't know how sick I was because I wasn't actually supplementing, my spiritual disease with spiritual tools. I was just using this social outlet, right?
Right.
To feel wanted and part of. And I mean, that's a third of our triangle, right? That's part of it. But, you can't be on a stool with just 33% of the legs, right?
There's a balancing act that's happening. It's not a comfortable one.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. And so a boy walks in to my morning meeting.
Of course.
Yeah. And he's totally my type. And tall and muscular and athletic and smart. And we talk immediately after the meeting and exchange numbers. We talk all day that day, and then we like can't wait to see each other. He had just gotten out of rehab. I didn't go to rehab, so I have no idea what that right. I was like, okay, that's cool. I had no idea. And then we go to the morning meeting. We sit next to each other, And then we go to breakfast afterwards, just he and I. And he puts his hand on mine and he's like, "You're going to be my wife." And I was like, "I know."
Aww.
We get engaged 2 weeks later. And then,
of course, I've heard this story before. Some end well, though. Some don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we got married a week after that.
Okay. Are you still married? No. Okay. Sometimes it happens.
I know. I've seen that.
I've
seen
shocked,
that.
but I've seen it happen.
No. I've seen it. I
love it so much.
Yeah. So and the woman who got me into the program, she was like, "Slow down," like, because I was so excited to tell her about him. I was like, "He's everything we've been praying for. He's amazing. Oh my gosh, he's even sober. He's everything I've wanted." And she's like, "Okay, like, if it's really meant to be, like, you don't need to rush into it." She's like, I would really encourage you to stay out of relationships this first year, like, work on you, get a sponsor. And I'm just like, yeah. Like, I
just got married, girl. I'm not worried about any of that. Like, there's a boy.
Right. And so, he and I just decide to not tell our families that we just want to go to the courthouse and do it because we're meant to be together forever.
Right.
And I go to her house afterwards and, I basically was like, "Hey, remember that guy?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "So it was too good to be true. He's married to me."
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, you got me. I was like, because I married a man that was already married.
Oh, no.
So he just wasn't officially divorced, but he was still technically married, and he lied about that. Jack.
Are you guys still married?
No. But. Yeah, it was cause for divorce.
Yeah, for sure. Can you even legally do that?
I was annulled, actually.
Okay.
We weren't technically... I had to divorce him. He didn't divorce me.
Wild.
I was legally married to him, but he wasn't legally married to me.
That's so... Wait.
It's super wild.
Be legally married to more than one person?
No, he couldn't, but I was still married to him.
Wild.
Well, law is weird.
Here in California? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, we got married in Vegas. He was married here.
Okay.
Maybe that's what happened.
That's probably why.
But he wasn't married to me. I had to annul our marriage, so I wouldn't be legally married anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Good old Jeff. Where's he at?
He's long gone. He hates me. As do some of our exes sometimes,
Yeah.
Yeah. He met pre-sober 𝐃𝐸. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was a tear.
Yeah.
I was tearing through everything,
totally.
To be honest.
Tornado.
Yeah, just wherever I went, there was thrashing and wreckage. Wreckage, and it was ravaged,
They used to call me Katrina for hurricane. Yeah, like I was just...
That's awful.
Right, I know. There'll
never be a hurricane 𝐃𝐸, but I can imagine like there are some people that would associate that term with me. But that's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we go in and with the best intentions. Like we're just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's just my catchphrase was, I just want to party.
Yeah.
Like have a little straw in my vodka bottle,
Yeah. I would never put a straw in my vodka bottle.
No?
I would just put it straight to my mouth.
Oh.
As I want it in my body as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Like.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, it is kind of cute. That is like a little
think there was like a character that I had as well when I was using and drinking. So it's funny because when I think back about it now, like I'm pretty sure it was like Popov or something. It was not the best vodka. There was a little...
sip it.
I just get it in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was definitely a straw.
Ew,
vodka.
gosh, that's so bad.
It's like gasoline.
Yeah.
I drank for the effect. Most things that are bad for you taste bad for you. Your body is literally rejecting the poison. And you do it anyway.
Right.
Think about any drug you've ever done.
Yeah.
None of it tastes good.
Yeah.
No, it only feels good. But your body is like, no. And you're like, yes. And you like ingest it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's like doing it for the taste or
it's still so like I mean there is a really good side of that to us though when we get sober because we just power through. We're just like, what do you mean? So what?
Exactly.
Right?
But
so
we're also obsessive.
Yeah. Which
we
also
channeled
power.
Oh,
tell me about it.
Power.
I can't even, my life is insane. But some of the things that I talk about is like habits, which, you know, I believe is like what we consume, you know, what we do on a daily basis, right? Show me your habits, I'll show you your future.
Mm-hmm.
And I do so much uncomfortable stuff
On purpose. Religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold plunging. Hate it. I hate every
It's
freaking
discomfort training.
Yeah.
It's discomfort. What's it called? Exposure.
Oh yeah.
Discomfort exposure.
Yeah, that makes sense. But also like I'm part of a women's entrepreneur group, and you know, a lot of them ask me about fitness, and I'm like, it's really 85% nutrition.
Yeah.
And I was just telling them a little bit about like my meal plan that my coach made for me, which is mostly it's five meals a day, and it's usually like bison and rice or chicken and rice.
Yeah.
And
it's boring.
Yeah. And they're like, well, what if you don't want to eat that? I was like,
do it anyways.
It's like, I don't ever.
It's discipline.
Ever, yeah. I was like, I don't ever want to eat that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's literally the point. Like when you can shift making food from pleasure to fuel.
Yeah.
And
you've never said,
Right. I mean, sometimes I do. Like
when you have just had the best workout of your life, like anything that goes in feels good.
I'm like, I can't wait for my third meal. Or I actually really do enjoy my my evening shake is like one of the things I really look forward to. But on my like 5 meals a day, it says like my morning shake, and it's like half a squeezed lemon, and like a few there's like a tablespoon of this powder supplement, and 8 ounces of warm water, and that is my morning shake. And I was like, that's such false advertising.
Yeah, it's not
not a shake.
That's a water.
Yeah, I was like, what that's not a shake.
Don't call it that.
Yeah,
it's disrespectful.
Yeah, seriously.
But you make a really good point with that, is that a lot of the things that other people want, like they look at people and they're like, oh, you have all these things that I want, but they don't want to do the things that it takes to get
Totally.
there. And that's the reason why they don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, like there are things like luck, opportunity, and then there's also, you know, being in position or connection. Like those are the things that you can't really control.
Yeah.
But you can control your daily habits and your actions and create a life beyond your wildest dreams. And that's what the promises are.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of intersection with God.
Yeah.
There is so much intersection with God when you are obedient, when you are walking a path that's true to yourself, and you're doing the right things, and you're consistently doing them over a long period of time.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like we get sick of doing the things.
Yeah.
And then we fall like 3 months. Anybody can do it for 3 months. Do it for 3 years.
Right.
Do it for 30 years. Those people, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the billionaires.
Right.
Bill Gates and who's the other one? Winston Churchill. I don't think that's him. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a consistency that I think is the underlying part of the program. It's teaching you just the most basic human habits. And I think that goes back to like a lot of people in childhood not learning those types of things.
Yeah.
And that's just humans in general.
Yeah.
Whatever their upbringing was. And that's what fuels. Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. So many people, I like talk about how they grew up in AA. I was like, they
100%.
taught me. I now know how to show up for people.
Accountability.
Yes.
You show up on time.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You don't flake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't know. I was 31 when I came in and had achieved, you know, some level of professional success. Even, you know, I decided to do bodybuilding and had an 8-week prep and won like every show I did after that. Like, I mean, anything I put my mind to, I've done, you know, somewhat okay.
Yeah.
But I was missing like this huge foundation of like, okay, how do you be a friend? How do you actually have self-esteem? How do you build self-esteem?
How do you help another person?
Right. And it was, I don't know where normal people learn it, to be honest. And I think some don't. Right, like I
think everybody should work the steps.
Right, yes, and I'm working on an app that's going to be similar to that. Yeah, but I really believe that I'm part of other communities that are not recovery related.
Yeah,
and I
There's something missing
Well,
sometimes.
they are shocked at how much I show up for everyone. Like they literally, my old personal trainer would be like, I always know when it's one of you guys. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, when it's an AA-er. I was like, how? She's like, because you guys are the nicest. You're always doing the most, like coming in here and wanting to go above and beyond. She's like, there's just such a different, like, she would say, energy about you guys. She's like, I always know when it's an AA-er. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever.
I think it's like attraction rather than promotion, but that is God. It's 100%
Totally.
God taking a seat in your soul and being expressed through you. That's 100% what it is. It's having
like
access.
His light shining through me. I don't want to take any credit.
I'll take credit for my works.
Yeah.
I will.
Right.
Because, man, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who says that it's not hard is lying.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it's not simple. It doesn't mean that it's not doable. But life is hard. Like, life will throw you sometimes, and you just got to get back on the buck.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. I would say that I'm going on, so I'm 9.5 years sober. This past, I don't know, year has been the most growth for me. The past 6 months has been like transformative, and I've been single, like really single, like not like dating or talking to anyone, like legitimately, like I would like the next man that I'm with to be my husband.
Right.
And so like I'm very intentional about, just waiting. Like, and I'm gonna be picky. I'm not gonna settle. I'm, very focused on like my career and building, the community that I'm in and making an impact, and believe that my husband will walk alongside me when I'm doing those things. I think God will send him. I don't have to chase anything.
Yeah.
I will attract it.
You've proved that to yourself time and time again.
Right. Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally. It's just in the waiting is like, come on, Lord. Like
waiting room sucks.
Yeah, right.
It
right,
sucks. It's
right.
always longer than you want.
Yes.
And it's always harder than you'd like. But it always shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just went to Mexico in March and froze my eggs.
Okay.
Which was like a really, probably outside of getting sober, one of the most responsible things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a fuck it, I'll figure it out kind of girl, right? Always. Mm-hmm. Like I'll start a business, fuck it, I'll figure it out. And I mean, I do, right? But I have some really good mentorship, and they're like, hey, this isn't like a fuck it, I'll figure it out. Like this your body is like a
reality.
Yeah. Like I'm 41, and I need to like start planning for what if you don't meet, because I refuse to marry a man so I can have kids.
Right.
I'd adopt, right? If I wanted a kid that bad. And so, I went to Mexico and spent a month there, just like really, I mean, for sure, 100% would not have been able to do that if I weren't sober, nor like had the wherewithal to think about, my future, right? I always like financial planning, all that stuff. Like that stuff is easy, but like when it comes to like my life and all this stuff, like everyone's like, what are you doing? Like, are you going to get married? Are you going to have kids? And I was like, dude, look at what I've built.
Right.
Like,
ugh, it's like such a slap in the face.
I know.
But at the same time, we do want all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
so like,
they are
hung.
My mom's like, you're not even like, you are not dating anyone.
Right.
And I'm like, look, when it happens, it's going to be fast. I know it.
Be right.
Yeah. And I'm not going to, rush something or go look for a freaking.
You've waited this long, for that perfect partner.
Right. Yeah. And I think that God is still working on me. I think that we're close. Not that we're not all works in progress.
Absolutely.
But I think that there might be some things that I still need to do, just me and God, before he introduces me to the man that I'm supposed to be with. And I'm okay. It's just like this weird, like, okay, do I get on like dating apps? I'm not doing that. But it's like when you're in the waiting room and you're like, okay, Lord, like, what should I be doing? And Bravo TV actually did reached out and wants to do a show with me.
I love that
I
so
know.
much.
I know.
Because when God does it, he does it better than you would do it. Every single
Right.
time he does it better. Like if you think that you are going to do something grand and you want to get in the way of God because it's taken too long, you just screwed yourself.
Right.
Because if you just let him work, let him cook, it's going to be better every single time. That's hilarious. I literally have chills.
Yes. Yes. And like they keep contacting me. They're like, hey, it's in the works, you know, and they want to do like basically like Millionaire Matchmaker plus OC Housewife, but like Christian edition.
I love
and
that.
I know. And I'm like, dude, this sounds incredible.
I'm gonna watch.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
yeah, you got to let me know when it airs.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I doubt. That's I cannot.
You don't know.
No, you're right. You're right.
No,
I don't know. I don't know. But my expectations are low about finding an actual husband that way. But I do think it would just be really fun.
Yeah.
And
it'd be funny if that's exactly how you met him.
Right.
That would be.
How many people do you know that meet their husband on a reality TV
But you're not everybody.
You're right. You're right. Okay. I love you.
Yeah.
I need to spend more time with you. You're right.
You're not. Courtney said that on the last episode.
Did she really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that I just see the best of people.
Yeah.
And like there's already a lot we're working with here. So it's pretty easy to see. You know what I mean?
Does that royally screw you in relationships?
No.
Really?
Blessed me so incredibly.
Okay. So because traditionally I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. But sometimes I see potential. And
different in relationships in those types of relationships.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
there's
about.
A separation there,
okay.
Because there's still reality that we're in.
Right.
We still have to be in reality.
No. I transcend reality.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, no, but he could be, right?
Right.
I like make this whole, you know,
a lot of women can relate
man.
to that. I call it imaginationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I made a video about it.
No,
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It's something that women do, and like it's the imaginationship is what happens like on the first date when you can picture them being your husband. You can picture what your kids would look like. You can picture the future together. Stop.
Yeah.
Flick you in the flick.
Right.
Flick you. No, don't do that.
Right.
But people show you exactly who they are.
Exactly.
And then just ride for the experience.
Yeah.
I think that's the point. Like a lot of people are just waiting to get to this end finish line, end goal, check the list off the box, check the box off the list, whatever it is. And like humans are like really dope experiences.
Yeah.
If you just go read the book.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens, have boundaries, have expectations, you know, don't be a doormat. But like, that's how I've approached it because we live in a culture now that's so different than our grandparents did. So if what I'm getting is the experience of a person and I can respect that and like then allow the unfolding to occur, then I'm happy if it ends.
Yeah.
Because then I didn't get robbed.
Yeah.
You know, of this fantasy that was in my head.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Man, I needed you.
Aw, I love that.
You can teach. I hope that you're teaching women that. I hope you're screaming that from the mountaintops.
I just did.
Okay.
And, you know, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I've done for a long time. My content is geared in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think there's a big play there.
Yeah, definitely. And my heart is women.
Yeah.
Like, I love women.
Yeah.
So I love men, too. If you're listening, we love you, too.
Yes. It's just women, like... And were you afraid of women ever? Or like, were you
no,
like the
they were
tomboy?
afraid of me, though.
I could see that.
Yeah, they were afraid of me. And then I'd be like, hey, you know, and they're like, wait, this doesn't make sense here, you know? And like, that doesn't mean that there was a reverence still there, you know, like maybe she's not to be played with, but also like she's trustworthy.
Yeah.
That's weird. You know what I mean? Like, and so, I'm very who I am all the time.
Totally.
So I think that's easy to recognize in people. So, but tell me what you have to say to the alcoholic that's still suffering, the person that's listening on this podcast right now, and they want nothing more than to get sober and they just can't.
Yeah. I would say that a lot of us think that sobriety just happens, right? You just bam, wake up and you're sober. And it's really just like anything else, like success or having a banging body. It's small incremental wins over time. And so one, I would say find your tribe. 100% get in community. If it's not AA, like that is not the only way, right? There's
AA does not have a monopoly on recovery.
That's right. 100%. I believe, and I've seen other people. I actually created an online free sober community where people can come in and just talk about sobriety and, you know, ask questions. They can be sober curious. Like, but there's a group of people. It's like there's over, I think there's 640 people in it. I just started it in
That's
November.
An amazing amount of people. Do you know how many people that is? That's a lot of people.
I know. It's incredible, and it's all God. But these are people that like do not want to go to AA, and they don't want to go to treatment, and they want to be sober.
Yeah.
And so we post our daily non-negotiables. We talk about, you know, what we're doing that day to stay sober. We share literature from all different walks.
Yeah.
We share, like, these are also people that like post gym selfies that would never post it on Instagram because they're proud of themselves, you know, and like we encourage, it's an inspiring and encouraging community. And
we'll put a link of it
okay,
in
cool.
the
Yeah.
description
It's called
of this.
Chains to Change, totally free.
Yeah.
Also, like I post all of my podcasts and like all like Zoom links. You know, it's like a resource center for people, you know.
Love that so much.
Yeah.
Because we need more resources and not less.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like AA is amazing and AA saved my life, but there are alternate pathways as well. And my last episode, we just talk about unifying these groups together instead of separating
Totally.
them. You know, there
it's
needs
like,
to be unity.
There is, why 100%. We should, whatever you're using to get and stay sober, like tell other people about it. Like it could save and change someone else's life. Who am I to say that that's wrong?
Right.
You know, I don't even know what's best for my own life.
Right.
Like,
somebody had to tell me what was best for me.
Right. Like I'm going to sit here and tell you what's best for you. No.
But I'll tell you what worked for me and maybe it'll work for you.
100%.
And if it doesn't, then maybe somebody else has worked for somebody else will work for you. And that's true community.
Yeah. It's about collaboration, not competition, right?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. So I wholeheartedly believe in community. I think, you know, for somebody who truly wants to get and stay sober, you know, I also get to talk to people who like are like, I messed up again. It's like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, listen, the goal.
You're not an anomaly.
No, it happens. Do you know how I consistently felt until I got into a 12-step program? I got community, I got a sponsor, and I started to actually work the steps, and God changed me from the inside out. And then it wasn't me thinking about, okay, not drinking all the time. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm living this beautiful life. And I would never even consider drinking because I have something worth fighting for. I have a life I no longer want to escape from.
Yeah, when you weigh them on the scales, it's just not
right.
I'm doing a cool thing with my hands for the people listening that aren't watching.
It is really cool. That was really cool. Did you go to school for that?
I went to school. Yeah, I'm a professional, actually. I'm a professional scale hand mover person. It has been such an honor to have you on. Do you want to tell everybody where to find you?
Sure. So you can find me at SoCalKatt. That's my Instagram. SoCalKatt, like Southern California.
3 T's.
That's right. 3 T's. And that's on Instagram and TikTok. And then Chains to Changed is my sober community, and we'll post a link into it.
In the description here.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have an app on the Apple Store very soon. So
awesome, amazing. Thank you. I'm so honored that you were willing to come on and share your story.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we loved having you.
Yes, thank you.
And that is it for another episode of Straight Jacket Podcast. If you or anybody that you love is struggling with mental health or substance abuse recovery, you can go to mentalhealthresource.com, fill out our form, and get some help. We love you, and we'll see you next time.